All right, Brad. Hello, hello, hello. I would like to talk to you about some. All right, Brad. Let me pause this real quick. Not pause, but turn this down here. Okay. I would like to know everybody can hear me good on YouTube. Let me know. Let me know. I wasn't able to really label this good, but I want to talk to you about some satanic connections with President Trump's administration. I want us to look at the bigger picture here. Okay, now you know that my major is, corporate communications, and we look at the big picture and whatnot. And we know a lot about logos. So I want us to look at things from another perspective. All right, hold on just a second while I'm getting everything set up. Well, hey, everybody, so I'm loud and clear, huh? Turn it up a little bit. Okay, how's this? Is this much better, the sound? I did have it turned down. All right, let me know you can hear good. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, I want to talk to you about something. In 2013, when I say I had the soul conversion where I, converted everything over. That's as loud as I can get it. I'm sorry. That's as loud as I can get it. But anyway, hey, let me make sure of something. Hold on here. Okay, no, we don't want that. Okay, everybody let me know you can still hear me. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? I got a lot to talk about. So I need to make sure everybody can hear. It's loud enough. Okay. All right. So back in 2013, when the Lord gave me my first sermon, my very first sermon to preach, He was talking about what's coming. And He told me in that message that He gave me, He said, just like that movie, The Purge. And I thought, isn't that weird that God would tell me The Purge, in the middle of a prayer time? But that's what He said. At that time, I had no idea about the election day one that they had. Did you know that prior to the election, I think the show come out in before the election. Let's see. All right, let's look at the Purge because all of y'all can see my screen. I think this is much better than doing it the way that I was with my iPad. So we'll do it like this, okay? Let's try it like this. All right, let's do the Purge. Election year. Oh, it was 2016. Okay, the Purge Anarchy, look at that, 2014. And the other Purge was 2013. Wow, it just come out that year. Isn't that something? Well, the Purge election year was a big debacle because they was coming after Trump supporters. Can you believe that in the first cut they was going after people with red hats on? Now you cannot make this stuff up how pre-planned all this is. Because they were going after people with red hats and it was such a debacle they had to pull that from it. But what is still in there is the slogan, keep America great. And the fact that they were going after the Christians in the movie. So now that everything's coming together and the New World Order is here, we have to look at this from the big picture. So we're going to talk about a lot of the satanic connections with this administration and the New World Order. Here we go. Somebody showed me this article. I was like, what? I did not know that President Trump, as soon as he got put into office, okay, hires this man who is behind the purge after they just come out with Keep America Great Again. Now, people, this movie come out right before the elections, and then President Trump on his second term is going to use the very thing of a movie that is about anarchy. Let's go back over here and examine this. Look. Okay, let's go back to the Purge. Watch this. See, look at this stuff. Terrible. You have the Purge anarchy, the Purge election year. Look at this. And what is it about, Brad? All of the Purge is about is letting people do what they will. Just like what? Luciferianism. Yes, that's what the Purge is. No restraints. 1 day a year. 1 day a year you can kill, maim, murder, rape, get all, you can purge all them emotions out in 1 day. So in the election year, they come after all the Keep America Great, the patriots. The patriots. So let's see what they say about The Purge. The Purge is an American media franchise centered on a series of dystopian action horror films distributed by Universal Pictures and produced by Blumhouse Productions, which is the guy that President Trump hired, and Platinum Dunes, mainly created by James DeMarco. It's an American media. Okay, that's what they say. All right. Okay, so let's go back over here. So President Trump brings him in the White House. Now, you got to ask the questions why. So before I read that article, I want to share with you one other thing. Somebody else pointed this out. Okay, let's look at the term MAGA, M-A-G-A. Okay, MAGA, which I use the term MAGA revival, which now makes me sick, but I did use it with Make America Godly Again. But anyways, okay, MAGA, satanic level. Watch this. Did you know that the hierarchy in the Church of Satan, check this out, when you get to a certain level is what? MAGA is the highest order, the highest degree in Satanism. Can you believe that? This website is the Satanism, which, by the way, Satanism partners a lot with New Age, because the New Age is a lot of the freedom, do anything you want without boundaries type of deal. So I wanted to show you that, right? Okay, so the MAGA is the highest order, the 5th degree of Satanism. Okay, then, okay, you had the Jewish guy at the Republican National Convention who prayed. And what did he say, Brad? I told you I was shocked when he said it. He said that Make America Great Again means to to make it great, it has to go back to these roots, which he's talking about, like the Abrahamic roots, the Noahide laws. Okay, so, all right, so we want to go back to the roots here, which is connected to the Noahide laws, which is connected to the United Nations, because you have to go over here and check out Chabad. I know I'm getting very deep, but okay, let's go to Chabad.org. What you mean, Baal? The master key, they talk about that a lot. They are really big into President Trump because they believe that he is the Messiah. His number of his name is like the Messiah. So you need to study this Chabad.org because President Trump's family is deeply connected to Chabad. His father was a real estate mogul. They practically own all of Manhattan Island in New York City. And his father, Fred, gave millions or billions to Chabad. Let's look this up, okay? Fred Trump. Wow, look at this. Other people have been researching it. Check that out. Okay, well, there's other people pointing this out. Hundreds of thousands in donations tied Kushner's and Trump. Some of Fred Trump's Chassidim, whatever that is. Jewish link. Yeah, Trump family has a long record. They sure do. Of supporting Jewish causes, which this is from a Jewish website. Here it is in 1956. Listen to how long ago that was. In 1956, Fred Trump also donated land to the Talmud Torah of the Beach Haven Jewish Center in Flatbush, New York. The center is still active. Okay, now the thing is, I know many people think that President Trump is Jewish. I don't know if he is or not, but I'm just going to talk facts today. Okay, now we know that Jared Kushner, look at that, 666 Fifth Avenue. I'm just going to type in Chabad, okay. Oh, wow, look at all this. A Jewish community center. Wow, I didn't know all this. Trump to endorse Chabad movement in event attended by Ivanka and Jared. New York Times, let's see what they got to say. Are Jared and Ivanka good for the Jews? Hasidic women. That's what they call them, Hasidic. Orthodox Jewish women and men live in tightly defined and separate spheres. Isn't this funny that the New York Times, which acts like they hate the president so much, is actually writing all this about the Orthodox Jews and trying to get all of the worldly people to understand? Look at this. What the world? Well, you can't make this stuff up with a stick. Okay, let's go back. Jerry Kushner's college rabbi recalls a snow shovel. They attend a Shabbat synagogue. Anyways, the point is, Jerry Kushner is this, okay? Ivanka gave up her Christian roots to become this a Hasidic woman, I guess. And then they got married under this. Okay, now this guy, Jared Kushner, all right, let me show you this about the 666 Fifth Avenue, okay? Now, Jared Kushner owned a building on Fifth Avenue with the address of 666. Now, he had the reason it's so controversial is not just the numbers, but the reason it's so controversial is because he had a company in there called Lucid Technologies. Now, I'm trying to give you the bigger picture, Brad, okay? Lucid Technologies manufactured what? The chip, the human implantation chip. Okay, and then as soon as President Trump gets in, he automatically gives them a position, Jared and Ivanka. Now, both of them, neither one has been appointed, assigned, elected, anything. And it's funny to me that the Democrats who say they hate him so much, oh, he's just a terrible president, doesn't go after the elephant in the room. They don't even talk about his connections to any of this. Wouldn't they try to expose the truth if they really wanted to go after Jared? No, because Jared is free to what? Go over to the Middle East and do deals on behalf of the United States, not our Secretary of State, no. Not the ambassador over there, no. Jared Kushner. And he did this bribe for what? 4 years. 4 years wheeling and dealing on behalf of the United States. Then, who does he have there when he brings the embassy over to Jerusalem? He has John Hagee. He is one of the speakers who actually wrote a book talking about how there's 2 covenants. And the Jews don't have to get saved because they still go by the first covenant. So they don't have to go by Jesus' covenant. So he has one of the biggest evangelical followers and pulls them all over to Israel and pulls billions of dollars, which, by the way, True News just reported how the Jews, how from Israel, they are funding many of these big evangelicals with billions of dollars. So, okay, all of you over there who have this agenda against what? Christianity. And you do not want people over there evangelizing. You do not want people over there because what? Now you're teaching everybody we're one new man. This false doctrine of we're one new man. We're all blended together. We're what is grafted in. So you are really a Jew. You have to go back to your, they call it Judeo-Christian, but you have to go back to our roots because we are the original. And so let's become one new man. And then we want all of you big name preachers to have all of your Christians worship Israel. And then we want them to give us all their money, but don't you dare tell us that we have to accept Jesus in our heart to go to heaven. Don't you dare tell us that. Don't tell us we have to follow Jesus. No, we want to do the Abrahamic Accord and pull everybody back to what we call the roots, which goes back to the Make America Great Again, which don't you think that's funny now that we know that MAGA is Satanism? The slogan, Satanism. So is the Noahide Laws. See the connection? The Noahide Laws is satanic. Okay, so you're going to say, you're going to have a Jewish rabbi, a prominent Jewish rabbi, get up there and say that the Make America Great Again slogan is because we need to go back to our roots and we need to, in other words, go back to the Jewish roots, basically. So both of them pulling towards the Noahide Laws. Okay, so anyway, now we're back to Kushner, where Kushner, his role in all this is. Okay, I want to make sure I am still connected. Oh, okay, it wasn't moving, sorry. Okay, are y'all with me so far? Is everybody, I mean, have I gotten so deep I've lost anybody? Is everybody with me so that I don't get so deep that I lose you? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for asking everybody thumbs up on the video. Please do, y'all. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Okay, so y'all are with me, and I haven't lost you because this is going to get very deep. I know Deborah said, what about all these people wearing mega hats? I've got a couple of them. I know. Okay, so let's go back to Jerry Kushner. All right, now, if we put it all together, okay, I'm going to write this down as we're talking, okay? Now, if y'all are writing this down, let's make sense of all this. Okay, so we're going to title this Satanic Connections. Satanic Connections. All right, number one, MAGA, M-A-G-A, is the fifth order of Satanism. Okay. And it's not only the fifth order, Brad, it's the highest level you can get to. So we know what you have to, and you know what else that reminds me of having to do with order is the Masons, the highest order, 33rd degree. So you get, do you have to do to get to the highest order? Number two. Okay, so MAGA, just the acronym MAGA. Okay, Jerry Kushner. All right, so let's do Kushner. Okay, with him, there's so many things. Let's do A, he is in the Chabad. B, 666 Fifth Avenue. C, the peace deal. That's a huge red flag. Okay, now going back to Kushner, Brad. Guess what else has happened with Kushner? Since he finished the peace plan in when? January. Now, all of a sudden, we're rolling out the coronavirus. Okay? We're rolling out the coronavirus. And guess what his role is in the coronavirus? You can't make this stuff up. Now, so let's go ahead and put this as D. Now he is what? He is the, not infrastructure, but supply chain director of the coronavirus. All right, now, when you think of the supply chain, okay, let's just look at all this legally. All right. So let's type this in, okay? Jerry Kushner, supply chain, coronavirus. All right, see, other people's been researching it. Okay, supply chain of COVID. Okay, good point, good point. All right, Jerry Kushner's role in the coronavirus response. Okay, this is by American Oversight. I don't know who this is. Oh, they're doing an investigation, uncovering the facts, holding government accountable. Okay, I don't know who these people are. The trend of the president's son-in-law being handed serious responsibility. See, this is what I'm saying. This man is speaking on behalf of the United States of America. And y'all, I can't help it. Does he not look like a woman? Every time I see him, I just see, Lord, forgive me if I'm judging this man wrong, but do you not see effeminate there? See, that look is a classic. The way his face, he just looks like a, Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong. But I've heard it said that he was a transgender, but I don't know. But look. Anyways, there's many things. Okay, so the trend of the president's son-in-law being handed serious responsibilities far beyond his experience has continued during the pandemic. American Oversight is investigating how Jared Kushner has mismanaged the hunt for medical supplies. Oh, well, you can't make this stuff up. Jared Kushner's connection to Lucid Technologies. Lucid Technologies' connection to the chip. Because looky here, Brad. I know a lot of stuff I say, I just feel like I have to back up every little thing. Okay, let's look up Lucid Technologies chip. Lucid Technologies services. What is this? Hardware design. Do you have a custom design that includes an embedded microcontroller? So they embed the chip. Oh, excuse us. What the world? Circuit. Oh, it's embedded technology. Okay, the chip, computer chip embedded. Oh, IT solutions. Okay. Lucid Tech Incorporated is what they are. Ah, look at this. Oh, you cannot make this up that the logo looks like a human with a chip in it. No way. No way. No way. Y'all are seeing this fresh, hot off the press. Look at this. What the world? I've got to show y'all what I see. Y'all know how I study logos. All right, check this out. Lucid Technologies. All right, let's check out their logo. Images. Wow, look up the 666. What do you know right there? Ah, that looks just like the Chrome logo. Oh, the all-seeing eye right there. All right, all right. What do you know? Where is your new logo? All right, let me go over here and look. Lucid Technology. They must have just come up with this new logo. I'll see if I can make this bigger for you to see. See it? Oh, it still looks like a human, though, from far off. Look. Oh, with a beam up there. Oh, I see. Okay. A human with the chip beaming out. All right. Let's go back. Okay. All right, let's check these people out. Vision. Look at the world through your eyes. We visualize your idea. Oh, man. Have we seen movies lately where they have computer chips in eyeballs where they can, it's like them being with you, but they're seeing what you see? How many out there, raise your hand if you've seen a movie with it, where they are putting computer chips in eyeballs and they're seeing the world through your eyes. Seeing the world through your eyes. I think that's what they mean. Okay, so anyways, let's go through this. Okay, the jobs about us. A leading information technology consulting firm serving clients globally. Now they're consulting everyone, huh? Consulting and staffing. Okay, so anyways, that's Lucid Technology. Okay. All right, so here he is. I'm telling y'all, he looks effeminate. That is creepy, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's make this a little bigger. Despite having no evident experience that would serve him taking a lead role in responding to a national public health emergency, White House senior advisor Jared Kushner was tasked with spearheading the procurement of badly needed medical supplies and personal protective equipment for the nation's medical workers in an effort known as Project Airbridge. Oh, I didn't know I had a name. In that endeavor, Kushner turned turned toward a group of private sector volunteers, mainly with similarly little experience. Okay, so the point is, without getting too deep into all that, that leads back to over here. Now, we know Jared Kushner's shady history before he got in the White House. He gets in the White House, President Trump immediately gives him the ultimate authority, more than the Secretary of State authority. He does not, I know many people talk about him not even having the access. He was not even where they did a background check. So he was able to speak on behalf of the United States without even having a background check. I mean, it is just crazy. Okay, so let's see here. The PR chief behind the Purge was just hired at the White House. Josh Raphael is now living in the ultimate horror movie. All right, let's make this a little bigger. If you have never heard of Blumhouse Productions, chances are you have seen their films. The Hollywood production company has created the horror films Paranormal Activity, The Purge, and this year's critically acclaimed Get Out, which earned the company's glowing profiles. Okay, now President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, hired him. So can you believe that? Can you believe that? He is the one that hired him. What? To join the White House Office of American Innovation. Now remember, that's where he put Jared over, is that office. Now innovation, we know this has to do with what? Technology. The what? 5G infrastructure. Raphael, I don't know how to say his name, told the Hollywood Reporter that he would run communications, but declined to give further details. The news follows the president announcing his plans to use the catchphrase of the Purge election year as his 2020 campaign slogan, "Keep America Great." Now, this, Bride, you cannot make this stuff up. It is just so ridiculous how obvious all this is, because Kushner, who had the relationship with 666 Fifth Avenue, is Chabad, works for the Noahide Laws, and now he's in the White House. Since he's been in there, he hires this guy who does a movie showing the persecution against Christians and calls it Keep America Great. Now, let me tell you this. I just thought of something. Okay, so you're going to call it Keep America Great, but how are you going to keep it great? After we know that the rabbi at the Republican National Convention said that in order for America to be great again, it's got to go back to its Jewish roots. So, in the meantime, you're killing Christians. And then President Trump stands out there holding the Bible, which we know was the call to go after the church. This is what I see, Brad. So he knew exactly what he was doing when he called this campaign Keep America Great. The only way to get it great, according to all them, is to get rid of the Christians, the extremists. By the looks of it, Kushner could use some help from the horror spin doctor who earned positive headlines for Blumhouse. Since he joined the White House, politicos have questioned if Kushner and his wife Ivanka's role violate ethical rules. As Jennifer Rubin pointed out in the Washington Post, federal law forbids the president from appointing his children, what? Or their spouses, and both Kushner and his wife have retained ownership of their private companies, although they have ceased running them on a day-to-day basis. What? There is a law that forbids the president from appointing his children. Look at that and look. What? And nobody has fought that? You're kidding. Oh, okay. Here's one. Yes, it is legal for him to hire his family as White House staff. I guess he'd come under a lot of fire. No federal official may appoint Let's look at this code. This is from Cornell University. Employment of relatives. Agency means an executive agency, an office, agency, or other establishment in the legislative branch. Public official means an officer, including the president and a member of Congress, a member of the uniformed service, an employee, and any other individual in whom is vested the authority by law, rule, or regulation, or to whom the authority has been delegated to appoint, employ, promote, or advance individuals, or to recommend individuals for appointment, employment, promotion in connection with, and wow, relative means respect to a public official, an individual who's related to a public official. As what? How in the world can they? Well, first of all, now it makes sense, Brad. Because he was not supposed to do that to begin with, appoint all his family members. He immediately gave every one of them a job in his administration. When you think of any other company, that is against the law. You know, when you're appointed, when you're voted in, and then you get in and just put all your family in there in these key positions. I did not know that was against the law. Wow, that's a shocker. Okay, but anyways. And they still kept their companies, even, isn't that something? Raphael has done business with Kushner before. Wow. He's only worked as Blumhouse's chief public relations officer since 2015. What? He was in there when they made that movie? And Variety reports that he represented Kushner's real estate business, Kushner Enterprises, during his tenure at Hillstack Strategies. Matthew Hisdig's PR agency came under media scrutiny last year when then Republican nominee Trump chose former Hillstick employee Hope Hicks as a press secretary. As a Hillstick employee, Hicks helped manage Ivanka's publicity, and according to an extensive GQ profile, an impressed Trump took her from Hillstick. I wouldn't say Matthew Hillstick was thrilled the now president told him, but you know we give him a lot of business. Well, let's check out this company. Never heard of them. It sounds like it's Jewish. Hillstick Strategies. Let's check this out. With offices in New York, duh! If it's in New York and Los Angeles, Hillstick Strategies provides a wide range of high-level communication services, including strategic counsel, crisis management, corporate positioning, profile management, message development, media training, media relations, brand building and repositioning, and content creation. All right, let's check out their website. Yep, Madison Avenue. What? This is all you got here. This is all they've got on their website? That is weird. You cannot even click into it. That is weird. They want to stay behind the scenes type of company, huh? Wow. Well, let's check out. No, because I'd have to sign in. I don't think I'm signed in. Let's see here. Here we go. Representing influential companies, organizations, situations. What is that on his face? Mike Tyson? Is that a tattoo? Triller's upcoming new live event with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. Ice Cube. Okay. So they're a communications firm, huh? Well, the firm works across a broad spectrum of industries, including media. All right, let's see here. Entertainment, sports, tech, publishing, finance, retail, real estate, public affairs, education, consumer goods, B2B, which means business to business, and philanthropy, with offices in New York and Los Angeles. Hitzig Strategies provides a wide range of high-level communication services, including strategic counsel. So we know now, we know that we know. All right, let me go over here to Facebook because this one lady is trying to tell me. Let's see. I hate for all y'all to see my messages. Let's see. Let me get off here. Sorry. I was wanting to go to my page. It's I think it's on Dr. June Knight. You are going to see all the people. Somebody just wrote me something about True News, and I want to see it. There it is. Rick Wiles at True News. Thank you, Karen. Christian news source covered Bloomhouse and the Purge on one of their newscasts. Oh, I was hoping you had a link. Oh, man. Hey, let's try this then. All right, let's go over here. True News. True News. Okay, and that what's the name of that company? Hi. Oh, here we go. It's new. Let's see what this is. JB News Network. Okay, it's off there. How hard is this to find? What the world? You wouldn't think it'd be that hard to find. Let's see here. Bloomhouse. Okay, let's try this. Maybe it's listed under Bloomhouse. All right. Let's try this. Universal Pictures promotes slaughter. Okay, all right. Wonder why he's reporting on that, though. I guess I'd have to watch it and see. All right, let's go over here to the all. True News. Okay, Hollywood is taking its stage. The Hunt. Comcast promotes. Okay, let's see here. I just think it's funny he calls his church New Zion. Since he goes against the Zionist all, I guess he's trying to make a new Zion. Well, where is the? Maybe they've got a search button on here. Let's see if we can find a search. There's one search. Okay, let's put this in here. Bloomhouse. August 8th of 2019. What was it called? The Hunt. Oh, that's the only one. It must be here. Promotes slaughter of Trump supporters.
On this edition of True News.
I love their intro.
Islamic Revolution Guards Corps Major General Hussein Salami said Tehran is sure that the Americans are not interested in getting in.
Oh, it's giving you a feedback, Bride. Hold on. Sorry, it's giving you a feedback, so I can't show. But he's got it on here. A Hollywood film depicts Trump supporters being hunted for sport. Remember, I was telling you that, and they ended up taking it off of there. So I guess we could check into that later. But anyways, let's go back to what I was saying. So Kushner Enterprises, during his tenure at Hills Strategies, Matthew Hizzig's PR agency come under media scrutiny. Let's check this guy out, Matthew Hizzig. The PR behind Trump's mouthpieces speaks. Huh. Let's see what this is. This was a year after he was hired. A former Democratic operative, what? Birthed two of the most powerful and now departing voices in the president's orbit. Strategies, was best known for having represented such news magnet stars as Katie Couric, Justin Bieber, and Glenn Beck. Oh, you can't make this up. Oh, come on now. Justin Bieber? What? The very ones that are a part of this new world order? Then Trump happened, and suddenly two of Hitzig's PR proteges, Hope Hicks, we just read about her, and Josh Rafael became key White House confidants of the president and his son-in-law, Jared. Excuse me. It was with Hitzig that Hicks, now 29, and Rafael, 33, were first pulled into the Trump orbit via their work with Kushner. Him and Ivanka, who had business with the agency at the time, but their tenures at the company, nearly 3 years for Hicks, 6+ for Rafael, provided more than just introductions that would gain them entry to Trump's inner circle. It armed them with the skills to also thrive in its toxic maelstrom, whatever that is. Since the pair announced plans to exit the White House the same week in February, those skills are being examined under a microscope as political observers obsess about the impact on Trump. Okay, let's see. You can read all that later. Rafael's ties go back, having first met his future boss through a family friend while he was still in high school. He helped secure the young film buff an internship at Miramax, and later remind, oh, Bride, you cannot make that. Guess what just come to my spirit? Because remember that Republican National Convention? And I said, man, it looks just like a Hollywood movie. How many remembers me saying that? Raise your hand. That video that they did was so professional, it looked like a movie. Now we know why. His connections to Hollywood. Hitzig, as a lawyer by training, is said to have imbued a I can't say the word, approach to PR which served both proteges well in Washington, and a belief that you don't have to be ideologically aligned to do a client's bidding. What? No, please just come on out and say it that you're progressive liberal. And you might as well just come out and say, you know, that you enjoy working with the president because he's a progressive liberal. He was a Democrat before he ran for office. Just come on out and say it. Let's see here. To get through crisis, Hitzig employees are taught to look at situations as moments in time, allowing them to laser in on the issue and keep calm. The latter likely helped Hicks and Raphael. A Hillary Clinton supporter is who Jared Kushner hired. What? You can't make that up for nothing. What the world? With him telling all of us Christians he's going to lock her up, and then he hires a Hillary supporter? Yeah, right. See, they're all together, Brad. They're all together. Digest situations that ensnared them with a president known for compulsive decisions. There's also a trial by fire philosophy at Hilton, which is how Hicks came to lead PR on Ivanka's brand while still in her mid-20s, and a model that exposes the staff to different people and businesses. In addition to Hollywood clients, Brad Pitt, Hitzig and his team work on sports, NFL, Jets, tech, Sean Parker, and politics, Reshma, whatever, whoever this is. Let's check out this person. Is the founder and CEO of Girls Who Code, an international nonprofit organization working to close the gender gap in technology. What? That name sounds Islam, don't it? Do you ever feel crushed under the weight of your own expectations? Do you often lose sleep ruminating over a tiny mistake or worrying about what someone else thinks of you? Do you run yourself ragged? You're not alone. As women, we've been taught from early age to play it safe, well-meaning parents, etc. Drawing on hundreds of interviews with girls and women from around the world. Okay, so let's see what she's doing here. She spoke on TED. All right, all right. Is the founder of Girls Who Code, the international nonprofit working to close the gender gap in technology and change the image of what a computer programmer looks like and does. Now, let me pause here a minute. We know that Ivanka has been traveling the planet pushing a woman agenda. So, she has been working with Ivanka. So, are they out there pushing women with technology? You have to ask yourself. She is the author of the international bestseller Brave, Not Perfect, and the New York Times bestseller Girls Who Code, Learn to Code and Change the World. TED Talk, Teach Girls Bravery, Not Perfection, has more than 4 million views and has sparked a worldwide conversation about how we're raising our girls. She is the host of the award-winning podcast Brave, Not Perfect. All right, I'm going to scan. I'm scanning. Let me make this a little bigger. Oh no, did it cut me off? Bride, they cut my video off. For some reason, let's see here. She's a graduate. Y'all let me know if you can still hear me on there, if I'm still connected to audio. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Okay, you can. Well, I'm going to keep going even though it disconnected my video. Okay, she's a graduate of the University of Illinois, Harvard's. Okay, good. You can hear me. Okay. Let's see here. Harvard's Kennedy School of Government and Yale Law School. Her work on behalf of young women has earned her broad recognition on lists, including all these others. Am I still connected? Because it's saying that it cannot connect. It's wanting me to leave. Boo! But if you can still hear me, I'm going to stay on here and just finish this. Oh, no, I see what it is. My internet went off on my laptop is what happened. Maybe it'll come back in a second, but hey, at least you can hear me. So the point is that, okay, so Jared Kushner hired this guy at the White House. Okay, so we know this. All right, so the next thing I'm going to look at is all right, let me go to the next thing. Now, there's an article in here by the Washington Post, okay? Now, this is dated. I wish I could show you, but I can't. It's dated February 27th, 2018. Now, this is when he left, okay? So this is what he said. Josh Raphael, a senior communications official in the White House who has been a go-to crisis manager and who has worked closely with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, is leaving the administration, officials confirmed Tuesday. Raphael's departure, which will take place within the next 2 months, comes as Kushner, President Trump's senior advisor, is under increasing scrutiny for his inability to secure a complete FBI background check for his security clearance. Remember, we talked about that earlier. With special counsel Robert Mueller's Russian investigation intensifying. Raphael, who joined the White House in April to help run communications for Kushner's Office of American Innovation, had become a point person internally for some of the most sensitive matters. Can you believe that? Sensitive matters. As well as the Middle East peace process. Wow. This guy was involved in the peace process from the Purge. Can you believe this? Okay, so he functions as a spokesperson for assistant to the president, Ivanka Trump, and Kushner, the president's daughter and son-in-law, but his portfolio is far more expansive, including foreign and domestic policies and day-to-day crisis management. Last fall, he was promoted to deputy communications director. Wow. And worked closely with communications director Hope Hicks, one of the president's most trusted advisors. Let me check on her and see what she's doing now. Oh, I can't because the connection's down. Okay, so let me go back. All right. Raphael earned a reputation among reporters for his voluble and fervent defense of his administration charges and came to be respected within the West Wing for his strategic instincts. Isn't that something? A big Hillary supporter. Now, did we not hear how President Trump was getting rid of Hillary supporters in the White House? Is there anybody else out there would raise your hand and remember him doing this? How many remembers this? I'm telling you, I believe that's what he did. His departure was first reported by Axios on Tuesday afternoon, where Axios works alongside this UN agenda. The announcement of Raphael's exit just shy of his 1 year mark in the administration is likely to prompt speculation about Kushner's status within the White House. Another close ally, former Deputy National Security Advisor Dina Powell, left the administration earlier this year and in recent weeks reported tensions between Kushner and White House Chief of Staff John Kelly has spilled into public view. Raphael, a Democrat, left his job running public relations for Blumhouse Productions, a Hollywood movie company, to join the administration. He had previously done work for the Kushner family. Raphael had told Ivanka Trump and Kushner in recent weeks that he was leaving, and he has told close friends that he has no immediate plans to announce. He has said he has family obligations in New York, where he plans to return and ultimately re-enter the private sector. Okay, now let's find out what he did after he left, okay? Hollywood PR guru Josh Raphael lands at Jewel after leaving the White House. Listen to this, Brian. Juul. Can y'all still hear me? Let me know you still can. That's the name of the company. This is dated October 4th of 2018. So this is just 4 or 5 months later. He will be vice president of corporate communications for who? What? The e-cigarette company? You mean the very one in 2019 that when I was in the White House, President Trump, his whole White House came against the e-cigarette industry? But because they found that many of the children are dying from e-cigarettes, did y'all know that? So they only want to stop people doing e-cigarettes on certain brands. They don't want to stop it altogether. But it's funny to me, this guy leaves and goes over here to an e-cigarette company. Something's fishy. Okay, so Josh Raphael, who pivoted from handling public relations for Blumhouse Productions to working as a deputy communications director in the Trump White House, has landed a new position in communications for an e-cigarette maker. Before leaving the administration last spring, Raphael headed columns for the Office of American Innovation, an effort led by Jerry Kushner, before taking on a larger role. He is joining Jewel as VP Corporate Communications, which, by the way, that's my master's degree, Corporate Communications, reporting to Chief Communications Officer Matt David, according to Politico Playbook. At the time of his departure, Ivanka Trump lauded Raphael as honest, passionate, and thoughtful, and said the White House won't be the same without him. Jewel did not release a statement or comment on Raphael's appointment before joining which is really weird. Usually, whenever they get somebody as vice president or president, they do a big press release. Before joining the White House, Raphael spent 6 years working for Hiltzik Strategies, the publicity firm founded by former Democratic operative Matthew Hiltzik. Hope Hicks, the former White House communications director. Oh, she left too? The former White House communications director? I don't have internet right now because they have cut me off. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? They cut me off. What the world? The publicity firm founded by Democratic operative Matthew Hiltzik. From there, Raphael joined up with Jason Blum's production company. Universal has lost its latest bid. Let's see. All right, that's it on that. I want to go back and look at something. Hold on a second, Brad. Hold on here. Okay, this is what it is because I got my internet back. I had to tap into my neighbors. He let me have it, so I tapped into him just for a minute. I need to check out this Hope Hicks. Let's find out where this woman's at. What? In February 2020, she was named counselor to the president. She previously served as White House Communications Director from August 2017 to March of 2018. Let's check out this woman. She's an American public relations consultant who in February 2020 was named counselor to the president. So she is taking what's her name's place, I bet. The one that just left. She probably told the president back then she was leaving. What's her name? I got my picture with her. The blonde, who is his consultant. What's her name, y'all? Oh, I can't think of her name. But anyway, she's leaving, and now this woman's in. She previously served as White House Communications Director from August 2017 until March of 2018. Kellyanne, there you go. Kellyanne, that's right. Kellyanne, yes, Kellyanne Conway. Okay, so now this woman took her place, huh? So from January to September 2017, she was White House Director of Strategic Communications. A former model, Hicks was an employee of the Trump administration organization before becoming press secretary. Wow, she was. So she's a model. So I guess she worked for the Trump organization before. And then she was press secretary when? And early communications director. She must have been the press secretary before, what's her name, the other one? Wow, Holly, I can see that. Okay, let's continue. She was Trump's longest serving political aide at the time of her resignation. Between stints at the Trump White House, Hicks worked for Fox Corporation. What? She turned around and left the White House to work for Fox as his chief communications officer and executive vice president. And now she's back with the, wow. See, that stuff is so shady. I told all of you that Fox News is nothing but state television. Wow, wow, wow. So she left the White House and went to Fox News. Can you believe this? And now she's back at the White House. Look at this, her story. She was a teenage model appearing in Greenwich magazine in 2002. She then posed for Ralph Lauren campaign with her older sister, Mary Grace, and was the face of Hourglass Adventure novels about a time traveler 10-year-old. She was the cover model for The It Girl in 2005. And then she attended Greenwich High School, where she was co-captain of the lacrosse team. She then attended Southern Methodist University, etc., etc. She graduated in 2010. Now, look where this girl came since graduating. She started in public relations with the New York City firm Zeno Group. She began working for public relations firm Hiltzik Strategies in 2012. And boy, that is what changed her world. Look at this. In 2012, after meeting the firm's founder at a Super Bowl event and worked there for Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and on her fashion line, and then on other Trump ventures because she was a model. In August 2014, Hicks joined the Trump organization full time. She worked for Ivanka Trump inside Trump Tower, helping expand her fashion label, the Ivanka Trump collection, and modeling for her online store. In October 2014, she began working directly for Donald Trump. Wow. In January 2015, Donald Trump chose Higgs, who was 26 years old at the time, for the role of press secretary for his campaign. Trump summoned her to his office, and as she tells it, Mr. Trump looked at me and said, "I'm thinking about running for president, and you're going to be my press secretary." Can you believe that? From a model to a press secretary. Until that time, she had never worked in politics or volunteered on a campaign. After Trump's first primary victories, Hicks was asked to choose between staying with the Trump organization or working on the campaign full-time. She initially decided to leave the campaign, but Trump convinced her to remain, and she stayed on as press secretary. During the campaign, she played the role of gatekeeper to press members who wanted to speak with Trump, handling over 250 requests a day and deciding which reporters would be allowed to speak with him. Hicks also took dictation from Trump for his tweets and then sent the text to another person in the Trump organization who sent the tweets from Trump's official account. When in New York City, she would spend most of her day in Trump's office handling inquiries from the press and taking dictation from him to tweet. Do y'all find this interesting? Are y'all even listening to me? Yeah, she is a favorite of Ivanka. In February of 2018, Hicks gave 9 hours of closed-door testimony to the House Intelligence Committee. She acknowledged that she sometimes had to tell white lies in her work as communications director, but refused to answer any questions about her tenure in the White House. The next day, the White House confirmed to the New York Times that she planned to resign. Wow. And now she's back. Isn't this funny? According to multiple sources, she had been planning to resign for months, and her announcement was unrelated to the events of the preceding 24 hours. She officially resigned on March 29th of 2018. On March of 2019, the House Judiciary Committee sent a letter to Hicks requesting information regarding alleged obstruction of justice by the current administration. She was mentioned over 180 times in the Mueller report. Wow. On June 4th of 2019, the Trump White House evoked executive privilege, directing Hicks to not provide any documents related to her employment. Wow. She agreed to testify in a closed-door session on June 19th of 2019, during which lawyers for the Trump administration forbade Hicks from answering questions 155 times, claiming that due to absolute immunity, Hicks may not speak about anything that occurred during the time of her employment at the White House. Wow. On July 18th of 2019, unredacted search warrant documents from the Michael Cohen criminal case were released, and it appeared a strong possibility that Hicks had known about hush payments made by Michael Cohen on behalf of Donald Trump before the date she had previously claimed. In February 2020, so 6 months later, we're going down a rabbit trail, huh? 6 months later, it was announced that Hicks would return to the White House office as an aide to Jared Kushner. Oh, now she's in with Jared Kushner and counselor to President Trump. So she started back after all the heat died down. On June 1st, 2020, in the aftermath of the killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, on May 25th, 2020, as resulting public protests in cities across the United States, including Washington, D.C., Higgs facilitated the appearance. What? No way. She is behind his appearance of holding that Bible at St. John's Episcopal Church across the street from the White House. And she was among the staff attending the appearance. Wow. Hicks and her sister lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, but she split her time between an apartment there and an apartment in Manhattan. When Trump was elected, she moved to Washington, D.C. Wow. Well, now we know. All right, so that's about it, Bride, for today. I just wanted to show you the connections, the Luciferian, Satanic connections. So we've got Mega is the fifth order of Satanism. Did you know that? Jerry Kushner is Chabad on the 666 Fifth Avenue building, architecture of the peace deal, supply chain director of the coronavirus. Also hired the guy that did the purge. Let me put that as E. Hired the purge PR rep. You cannot make this stuff up, Brad. This, I'm telling you. So, Lord help us from this point forward. So he is the supply chain in the coronavirus. Now, you know what that means, Jerry Kushner. That means the vaccine. We have got Jerry Kushner in charge of the Million-Man Army vaccine implementation and the vaccine czar. Let's find out about this vaccine czar. Let's check this out. Okay, vaccine czar and Jerry Kushner. I'm going to see the connection here. Trump to name former pharma executive as vaccine czar. Let's check this out. President Donald Trump is set to name a former pharmaceutical executive to lead his administration's all-out effort to produce and distribute a coronavirus vaccine by the end of the year. And let me see when this article is dated. Oh, they don't have a date on it. Okay. Oh, here it is, May 13th. Moncef Slaoui, a former GlaxoSmithKline executive, will lead Operation Warp Speed. Trump's push to accelerate the vaccine development process for COVID-19, according to an administrative official, Slaoui is to serve in a voluntary capacity and will be assisted by Army General Gustav Perna, the commander of the United States Army Material Command. Okay. You tell me they're not going to make this mandatory, people. You tell me. Now you got the vaccine czar, dude, that's working side by side with the military. How crazy is this? Man, this thing just gets worse and worse. The move comes as the president and the White House aides hope to produce vaccines for the coronavirus faster than what many scientists believe is realistic. The administration is aiming to have 300 million doses to distribute to Americans by the end of the year. Believing a reliable vaccine is the only way to promote an economic rebound. Oh, I know it's going to be connected, Brad. I know it. Operation Warp Speed is operating largely independently of the existing White House Coronavirus Task Force, which is also shifting its focus toward vaccine development. See? The initiative is being promoted by White House senior advisor Jerry Kushner and involves officials from the Defense Department. You can't make this stuff up, Bride. And the Department of Health and Human Services. You know what that means? Psychologists, psychiatrists, the mental health industry. Remember when President Trump, I told you I was on that press call, Brad, where they want everything to go under the mental health industry, not the church. They want everybody to get mental health help. Okay, let's see here. On Tuesday, Dr. Fauci, the government's top infectious disease expert, said a vaccine would not be available by the beginning of the next academic year. The idea of having treatments, which is talking about in the fall, available or a vaccine to facilitate re-entry of students into the fall term would be something that would be a bit of a bridge too far. In other words, it's not going to be ready by the time school starts. Yeah, we know that. All right, let's see here. That is how they're connected. What the world? All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back. Let's see, now that I have some internet. Huh. What the world? Look at this. This one's called justsecurity.org. Timeline on Jerry Kushner, Qatar, 666 Fifth Avenue, and White House policy. The heart of the case involving President Donald Trump and Ukraine was the claim, this is dated March 11, 2020, that the president pressured a U.S. ally, weakening the security of that country to extract a personal benefit for himself. Several commentators have said that the president's action towards Ukraine fit a pattern of his calling on foreign governments to interfere in U.S. elections. But does it also fit a pattern of trading off the security interest of the United States and foreign partners for personal benefit to himself and his family? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Hold on. We provide a timeline of events surrounding an earlier incident at the Trump White House involving Qatar and the Kushner companies. We leave it to readers and to further investigate and reach any conclusions, whether it was a shakedown of a foreign partner, etc. Okay. When the Kushner companies purchased 666 Fifth Avenue in Midtown Manhattan in early 2007 for a record-breaking price of $1.8 billion, it was supposed to be a center for their real estate portfolio. Instead, the Kushners have struggled to cover their debt on the troubled building since shortly after its purchase on the eve of the financial crisis. Now, you can't make that up either. You purchased this building right before the crisis. Okay, y'all, Michelle, let's don't talk about that anymore in here, okay? Let's stay focused on what we're talking about here, if y'all don't mind. When the Kushner companies, okay, let's see, it was supposed to be a center. They're probably, instead, the Kushners have struggled to cover their debt. Okay. As Jerry Kushner's father-in-law, Donald Trump, was running for president, the Kushners were pitching Qatari investors to help bail out the building. And just weeks after his father, Charles, reportedly failed to reach a deal with Qatar's Minister of Finance, Jerry Kushner, in his capacity as senior advisor to President Trump, reportedly played a central role in supporting a blockade of Qatar by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Well, we know they just struck that peace deal with the United Arab Emirates. Kushner never disclosed his meeting with Saudi Arabia and the UAE on the blockade to the Secretary of State Rex Tillerson at the time. Later, a financial company tied to Qatar brokered an especially valuable deal to rescue the Kushner company's property at 666 Fifth Avenue. Wow. The following is a timeline of events related to Kushner's pursuit of funding from Qatar for 666 Fifth Avenue and the Trump-Kushner support for the Saudi-UAE blockade of Qatar. Wow. The timeline will be updated as new information becomes available. Okay, so let's see. January 2007, Kushner Companies purchases 666. Okay. 2007 and 2008, global financial crisis and early troubles for 666 Avenue. Okay. They sold off a lot of their 49% stake in the building's retail place to Carlyle Group and Crown Acquisitions for $525 million. That was in 2007 and 8. Okay, and then let's see here. 2010, Kushner's financial troubles with 666 Fifth Avenue. Kushner Company's $1.2 billion loan on 666 Fifth Avenue is transferred to a special servicer to try to restructure the debt after the Kushners reported difficulties in paying the loan. Is appraised at 800, less than half. Wow. 2011, the Kushners sell nearly 50% of the building's office space to Vornado as part of a refinancing deal on the loan for the building. 2015 to 2016, in transition to White House, the Kushners negotiate with Qatar. No way! No way! In 2015 and 2016, and it's those that are the ones, the United Arab Emirates, where they just completed the peace deal. You cannot make this stuff up. 2015, 2016, transition to White House, the Kushners negotiate with Qataris. In 2015, Donald Trump formally announces his candidacy for president, okay? Through 2015, 2016, Jared and Charles Kushner negotiated with Qatari investor Shakid Hamad bin Jassim Al Thani, known as HBJ, to refinance the building. Can you believe they sold it to the is a former prime minister of Qatar who manages the country's $250 billion sovereign wealth fund? One of the meetings, Kushner reportedly. Now, why didn't the Democrats bring all this up? Is this not pathetic? Why didn't they bring up all the connections over here to the Middle East and then to put, now that you know what he did when he sold his business over to the United Arab Emirates, and then you're going to be over there negotiating on behalf of the United States? Crazy. This is the craziest stuff. The deal ultimately falls through when the Kushners fail to raise the rest of the funding from other sources, and the potential investors reportedly worry about public scrutiny from his role in the White House. Duh. Man. One of the meetings Kushner reportedly holds with HBJ is in the Trump Tower during the transition in December of 2016. What? He agrees to invest at least $500 million, but the deal fell through when he failed to raise the rest of the money. Tom Brock told the Washington Post that he tried to use his Qatar connection to help Kushner with 666 Fifth Avenue. Brock said he told the former Prime Minister of Qatar to consider investing in the Kushner Company's property, according to the Post. In a subsequent Post story, Brock says that Kushner's move to the White House just about completely chilled the market, and potential investors just said, no way, we can't be associated with any appearance of conflict of interest. even though there is none. What the world? It is definitely a conflict of interest. Oh, I hate to even read the rest of this. Late October, early November 16, Saudis reach out. A week before the election, candidate Trump meets with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman at Trump's private residence, according to Rick Gates, FBI proffer. Kushner is the main point of contact for foreign governments during the campaign. According to Gates, Kushner and Sessions were designated to deal with any request by foreign officials to the campaign. This decision was made fairly early on as a result of requests from Papadopoulos in or around April 2016 about requests from foreign officials. The request was made to Manafort and Kushner, and then the decision to designate Kushner and Sessions to deal with this. What the world? Post-election, Saudi assessment of Trump-Kushner team. Soon after the election, Prince Mohammed bin Salman sends a delegation of Saudi officials to meet with Kushner and other Trump advisors. They subsequently write an unflattering assessment that later leaks. It says that Trump's inner circle is predominantly deal makers who lack familiarity with political customs and deep institutions, and they support Jared Kushner. The Saudi delegation brought back a report identifying Mr. Kushner as a crucial focal point on the courtship of the new administration. According to the New York Times, he brought to the job scant knowledge about the region, a transactional mindset, and an intense focus on reaching a deal with the Palestinians that met Israel's demands, the delegation noted. So January 2017, Jared Kushner officially joins the Trump administration. All that is before he joined. Can you believe it? Oh, Jared Kushner joined the Trump administration as a senior advisor and formally resigns as chief executive of Kushner Companies. He sells some assets to a family trust, including his stake in 666 Fifth Avenue. You just can't make that up, the satanic connection of that. Then you're going to do the Trump campaign is MAGA, Make America Great Again. MAGA is the symbol of the satanic highest degree, the fifth degree. What the world? He still owns holdings worth around $800 million in his company. From early 2017 onward, Kushner MBS Private Communications. Since the early months of the administration, senior officials were worried about Jared Kushner having private, informal conversations with Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Oh, he's still talking to him? A practice he continued even after the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, imposed new protocols, according to the New York Times December 2018 report. The private exchanges could make him susceptible to Saudi manipulation, said three former senior administrations. You know what I just thought of, Bride? Wow. A lot of you may have already thought about this, but this is what just came to me. You've got Fred Trump, who is the real estate mogul. He owns about all of Manhattan. He gives his real estate company over to his son, who Fred, back in 1950s, has been just throwing money in the Chabad organization. So many people say President Trump, is Jewish or the 33rd degree Mason or whatever, but the connections to the real estate industry is phenomenal, much less their connection to the Noahide Laws. Then, which is the Orthodox Jews, then you have him his daughter marries and converts from Christianity over to Chabadism, over to this religion, which worships Kabbalah. She wears that red bracelet all the time to show her Kabbalah connections. And then Jerry Kushner, is a real estate mogul as well. Now, you take these 2 or 3 real estate, I can't help it, Banada. I don't have it's because the internet cut me off. So it's either I keep going with the black screen or we have to stop the broadcast. There's really no other choice. I'm sorry. I did have it on there first as sharing the screen. But anyways, okay, so you have these 3, which are real estate moguls, negotiation, and then you have President Trump, who does the TV show called, what's that show that he did? Somebody tell me what's the name of it? The one, where he was firing everybody. I can't think of the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Who said that? Holly and Mary. Thank you. The Apprentice. Yes. Okay, so you got President Trump on there. That's The Apprentice. He's on there like he's the mastermind of all these negotiations. He even wrote a book called what? The Art of a Deal. He wrote The Art of the Deal. And then who did he say that who is his main mentor? Was that guy that is, he's a shady connection. Let's see who. Trump's main mentor. Art of a Deal book. What was that guy's name? That he said was his main. He's a new age guy. There it is, Roy Cohn. Okay, Cohn. Okay, let's check this guy out. All right. American lawyer, best known for Senator McCarthy's chief counsel. It says McCarthy's of suspicious communists, suspected communists, top political fixer. No, I don't think this is one. He also represented and mentored real estate developer and later President Donald Trump during his early business career. He was disbarred by the Division of New York Supreme Court for what? Unethical conduct, attempting to defraud a dying client by forcing the client to sign a will amended, leaving him his fortune. He died 5 weeks later from AIDS. Boy, does that sound like that movie Bride. Have you seen that movie? Ooh, this is all creepy now that I'm thinking about it. What is the name of that movie where they owned the building on 666 Fifth Avenue? He was a lawyer, and he was really Satan. What was the name of that movie? And the guy started working for him, and he had the wife, and they ended up trying to sell their soul. What is the name of that movie? Yeah, Robert De Niro. He was in it. What was the name of the movie? No, Leslie, I have to have it. Devil's Advocate, that's it. It was filmed at Trump's place. What? No way. No way. Wow. Devil's Advocate, yes. This guy sounds like that guy from Devil's Advocate, don't he? Huh. So he was a homosexual. Wow. Hmm. I'm just scanning real quick, Brad. If not, I'd keep you on here all night. Anyways, he does. He reminds me of that guy from that movie. So this is his mentor. But there's another mentor that had the New Age connection. Let's see if it's in this one. Hold on. No, it says Roy Kahn. Let me get this a little bit bigger. I wish y'all could see my screen. I'm mad that my internet did that. I'm sorry. What? Look at this. They're talking about in this article about Trump's crazy tweets. See, look at this. They say, I'm just going to read you this. This is in lairviewbooks.org. Lairviewofbooks.org. Okay. But Art of the Deal does contain, that's the book where he talks about his mentor. Okay. He says, the Art of the Deal does contain one massively important truth. It explains why he has been so wild in his attacks over the last few months on people he is not running against this year. This conduct has driven Republican political professionals to despair and seems inexplicable. Spending a week tweeting about a Venezuelan beauty queen for gaining weight. This is President Trump's tweets. Going after the Khan family, whose soldier was killed in Afghanistan, attacking Paul Ryan, the highest ranking Republican in Congress, when every political strategy requires that he devote all his energy to attacking Hillary Clinton. Trying to explain his behavior, pundits have said we were witnessing Trump's inability to restrain his worst impulses, or that he blindly follows his ego, or that he's like a 2-year-old here and here. And many have been saying he is simply crazy. In fact, if you Google Trump and crazy, you get 66 million results, starting with President Obama, who recently said that Trump comes from the swamp of crazy. But there's a better explanation. Listen to this. Listen to this. There's a better explanation. Trump's statements are not infantile or impulsive or insane, but rather are part of a conscious, consistent, long-term strategy for dealing with criticism and opposition. I told you, Brad, he knows exactly what he's doing when he's putting all these people down. And I told you he has been doing it because he is coming after the church. He's coming after the church because what he is causing people to hate us more. The more that he gets on Twitter and he goes off, the more people hate us. Okay, so he says, it's all there in The Art of the Deal, Chapter 5, The Move to Manhattan, where Trump tells the story of how in 1973 he managed to join a private club. Of course, it was the hottest in the city and perhaps the most exclusive. And of course, its members included some of the most successful men and beautiful women in the world. It was the kind of place, he wrote, where you were likely to see a wealthy 75-year-old guy walk in there with 3 blondes from Sweden. In other words, Trump's kind of place. But it wasn't the blondes, which, by the way, Brad, when I say that about beauty queens, because I saw some people get mad at me over saying that about my last video, that woman looks like a beauty queen. The only reason I say that is not that I'm jealous or that I'm putting the person down. It is his pattern. He puts all beauty around him. Like the girl, the people that are the press secretary, that girl, all the people that he put, you just have to see. But anyways, but it wasn't the blondes at that club that most interested him. It was the New York lawyer named Roy Cohn. For liberals and leftists in New York, Roy Cohn was the personification of evil. Wow. The reptilian right-hand man and snarling chief counsel for Joe McCarthy during the darkest days of the blacklist, and later notorious legal attack dog and fixer for mobs and corrupt politicians. It is him. It is him. This is the guy from that movie. I got to watch that movie again now. I have got to watch that movie. There is a connection there. What was the name of it again? I got to write it down. What is the name of that movie? Let me scroll back. It is this guy. Not The Apprentice. What was it? The Apprentice. Thank you all for The Apprentice. Thank you all for The Apprentice. Okay. Oh, The Devil's Advocate. That's right. Devil's Advocate. Okay. All right. So, So, listen to this. Roy Cohn taught young Donald Trump 2 simple precepts. Always hit back and never apologize. Oh, you mean this is why he says he does not repent? You cannot make this up. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I would appreciate this person in here not be in here preaching like this ministry of repentance and holiness, okay? You can have your own YouTube channel to be doing that. We're focusing on this subject, okay? So if you would please honor what we're talking about, okay? Well, Charco, I'm going to address your question about the Democrats. You have to remember, no way, Joyce, there is movies about Roy Cohn and Trump, the devil's advocate. No way. What? Trump is that guy that come up and was mentored by the devil? What? Okay, but going back to Charcoal 1, you have to remember that the Democrats, well, this is what I've been exposing. The Democrats have partnered with the they're all with the UN, but they are the ones that are the vocal, the image of the UN. All the things that they are, promoting, the homosexual agenda, the abortion, all that kind of stuff is the same thing that the UN does. They are just open about it. Well, the Republicans basically do just about the same thing, but they hide it. Okay, they're very much supporters of LGBT now. So when you say this, exactly the opposite is true. Why didn't the communist Democrats? Honey, they're all that way. They're all working with the UN. It's just one is sneakier than the other. There is no red, there is no blue, there is no Republican, there is no Democrat. You are believing a lie, sir or woman. They're all together and they are giving this image through the media and through the president, through the White House, not through the White House, excuse me, through the president, that the Democrats are the evil ones. But we both saw when they did the Democratic convention and the Republican convention, they both had the same goals. Yes, they do. They both have the same goals. We're going to increase the infrastructure with 5G. Yes, we are. We're going to continue to partner with the UN with this coronavirus agenda, and we are going to vaccinate everyone. Yes, we both support LGBT too. Yeah. So I hate to inform you of that, but it is the truth. Okay, so let's go forward here. Roy Cohn taught young Donald Trump 2 simple precepts: always hit back, never apologize. That's exactly what we've seen Trump doing throughout the campaign, and especially the last several weeks. So if a Venezuelan beauty queen says you treated her cruelty, you say she made a sex tape. If the father of a dead soldier criticizes you on TV, you say he didn't allow his wife to speak. And if the most powerful Republican in Washington says he won't defend you anymore, you spend days calling him weak and ineffective because you always hit back and you never apologize. That's what Trump learned from the man who became his mentor. Wow. Now we know why Trump does what he does. Why he is relentless in his attack on Facebook towards people. I mean, not Facebook, but Twitter. Wow, I'm telling you, this is that movie made over. Wow, there's a lot about Roy Cohn that's not in the Art of the Deal. Trump does let his readers know that I don't kid myself about Roy. He is no Boy Scout. Trump left out the story of the first part of Kahn's career when he worked as a young federal prosecutor who helped send the Rosenbergs to the electric chair. Then he went to work for McCarthy. Who is this McCarthy they keep talking about? Missing from the Art of the Deal, the famous photo showing Kahn whispering in McCarthy's ear during hearings of his Senate committee when the term McCarthyism entered the lexicon. Also, boy, this article is powerful, isn't it? Also, missing from Trump's book, the story of how after the fall of McCarthy, Kahn opened his own law office and became what the New York Times called the New York's most feared lawyer. This is that guy to the bone. Oh, McCarthy was a senator? Wow, I'm telling you, this is some deep stuff. All right, let me look this up real quick. Hold on just a second, Brad. Hold on just a second. Hold on. I'm going to sing to you. What a day. I know this is random, but there will be when our Jesus we will see as I look upon his face, the one who saved us by his grace, down on our knees is where I want to be. What a day, glorious day there will be. Wow, look at this. Hold on just a moment, Bride. Hold it, hold it, hold it. What the world? I had to see if what somebody was telling me was true. Oh my, no way. Oh, you can't make this stuff up, Brad. Thank you to what's her name that told me this. Tina B. Thank you, sis. I had to look it up and you are telling the truth, sis. Man, it's too bad I can't show y'all on video. This is an article called Attorneys Defending Israel.blogspot.com. Now it says this article is dated, and look, this is when Trump announced he was running for president, Monday, December 21st, 2015. Donald Trump's Tree of Life plaque when he was honored by the Jewish National Fund in 1983. My father, Dr. I. Cohen, presented Trump with this beautiful award. Now, let me tell y'all something about the name Cohen. Oh, this is getting deep now. When you hear that name Cohen, your ears better perk up, Bride, because Cohen is the Noahide Laws. Yes, it is. The guy that is over the Noahide Laws, his name is Cohen. Okay, so, man, you cannot make this stuff up. Because President Trump has in his office this plaque of the Kabbalah tree. So apparently it's because he was given this award back in 1983. And when Trump, there's a video of Trump showing this to people. And as he's showing it to this news organization, he's flashing the 666 symbol with his hand. So let's hear what this guy says. My father, Rabbi Dr. Samuel I. Cohen, served with distinction as the executive vice president of the Jewish National Fund of North America over 25 years. On March 1st, 1983, at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in New York City, long before he was seeking the presidency, my father and Charlotte Jacobson were privileged to present the JNF's most covetous award, the Tree of Life Award, to Donald Trump in appreciation of his outstanding dedication to the cause of American-Israeli friendship and for his support of Israel. Here is the plaque that hangs prominently in Mr. Trump's office. I was at the banquet honoring Mr. Trump, and I recall his impassioned words about Israel. Afterwards, I recall my father telling me what a pleasure it was to deal with Mr. Trump. Wow, wow, wow. Can you believe this? Okay, well, that's interesting. Thank you, sis, for showing me that. I would have never known that. Okay, now, let's see if I can hear President Trump. He's about to explain about this. Oh, I can't show it because then it would have my audio. I'm sorry, Brad, but I'll have to post the link. Okay, so here's the guy, McCarthy. Joseph Raymond McCarthy was an American politician who served as a Republican U.S. Senator from the state of Wisconsin from 47 to his death in 57. Oh, at the same time that his father gave all the money to Chabad? McCarthyism is I've heard that, is the practice of making accusations of subversion or treason without proper regard for evidence. That is what President Trump does all the time. Man, this is, Bride, this is so deep. All right, let's finish this. Okay, here we go. There's a lot about Roy Cohn that's not in the art of the deal. Trump does let his readers know that I don't kid myself about Roy. He's no Boy Scout. Trump left off the story about the first part of Cohn's career when he worked as a young federal prosecutor who helped send the Rosenbergs to the electric chair. Then he went to work for McCarthy. This talking about Cohn. Missing from the art of the deal, the famous photo showing Cohn whispering in McCarthy's ear during hearings of the Senate committee, where the term McCarthyism entered the lexicon. Also missing from Trump's book, the story of how, after the fall of McCarthy, Cohn opened his own law office and became what the New York Times called New York's most feared lawyer. With a client list that included mobsters like Fat Tony Salerno, accused wife murderer Klaus Van Bulow, and in the words of the Times, the quasi-reputable George Steinbrenner. I'm telling you, that is this movie. That is this movie. Wow, Shiloh says, hunted down the communists in the USA. McCarthy accused Lucille Ball as being a communist. What? Man. What the world? The movie that we all need to watch is The Devil's Advocate because we're hearing this spelled out. Okay, so let's continue here. When Trump met Cohn, the family business was in crisis. Trump was working for his father, Fred, renting out apartments in Queens and Brooklyn. That year, the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division sued Trump and his father, charging them with refusing to rent to black people. What? No way. I ain't heard this one. It was the first time Donald Trump's name appeared in the New York Times. The family lawyers told the Trumps to settle, and that is in the book. Wow, did y'all know that? Then Donald met Roy Cohn. Trump was 27, Cohn was 50, and something clicked between them. Trump told him about the family's legal problems. This episode provides one of the most climactic parts of the book and one of the key lessons readers are supposed to learn about the art of the deal. Cohn's advice was clear: don't settle, hit back. Trump quoted Cohn's words, tell them to go to hell and fight the thing in court. The Trump signed up with him. Wow. Trump's book is wildly misleading on what happened next. Although it's the story he's been telling ever since, including in the first debate, he says we ended up making a minor settlement without admitting any guilt, and that was the end of the suit. The true story is much richer and more revealing. All right, let's see here. Cohn's response to the United Nations versus Fred Trump. What? Oh, United States. Okay. Donald Trump and the Trump Management Incorporated showed Donald how to deal with opponents. He filed a countersuit against the federal government, calling the Justice Department complaint baseless and irresponsible. He demanded $100 million in damages, something like $500 million in today's dollars. You know what's funny? Not funny, but ironic, is that a lot of these, remember I even told you, Brad, that a lot of these executive orders that he is signing, he is putting the Department of Justice in there. Did y'all see what I'm saying? He is including the Department of Justice. It's just weird. Trump's book is on what happens next. Okay, here we go. The true story is much more revealing. Okay. The judge in the case wasn't impressed. He dismissed the countersuit, calling it a wasting of time and prayer and paper. Cohn fought back, accusing the Justice Department of Gestapo-like tactics. He called the FBI investigators stormtroopers. So, in other words, the Trumps were really in a lot of trouble, and they reached out to the devil. I'm telling you, this sounds just like that movie. Wow. Okay, let's continue here. The consent decree they signed required that they rent to more black people and that they put ads in black newspapers saying they were an equal housing opportunity company. The government press release called the consent decree one of the most far-reaching ever negotiated. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to have to ask you, no, don't talk about that anymore. So I'm going to delete that comment, sis. Okay, so let's focus on this, please. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to probably have to stop the chats because it distracts me. And while I'm trying to get people to focus on the bigger picture, and all they do is they go in these chats and they want to talk about their life and all the other things that's going on, and recommending all these other people instead of sitting here listening. It's like I feel like sometimes I'm beating my head up against the wall. I'm trying to show you the bigger picture. You know, this is what my training and stuff has done. I may have to just stop the chats. But to me, it's more important for you to hear what I'm saying about the big picture than for all that. No. So let's continue. Khan had a different approach. The Trump's press release called it a victory. It's a lot like Trump declaring victory after the presidential debates. That was the point at which Roy Khan became Donald's mentor, says Wayne Barrett of the Village Voice. So, in other words, Trump likes winners. Have you noticed? He's all about winning. We're winning. We're winning, winning, winning. This guy is his mentor, the most evilest, ruthless man on the planet, who does anything to win and even represents murderers, killers, mobsters, and everything. It is just like this movie. I am totally creeped out. I am creeped out about all this satanic connection of everything. Jerry Kushner, 666 Fifth Avenue, mega, the highest ranking in Satanism. That term is the term for the highest rank in Satanism. Anyways. Oh, okay. That was the point at which Roy Cohn became Donald's mentor, says Wayne Barrett of the Village Voice, who wrote the 1992 book Trump, The Deals and the Downfall. After that, Cohn was Trump's constant advisor on every significant aspect of his business and personal life. You know what, Bride? It's almost like he had this intersection with Satan, because Satan took him to the mountain. He was in trouble, just like that movie, man. In trouble, sold the soul to Satan, and he promised him, you stick with me, I'll take you all the way to the presidency. Ugh, creepy. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. The whole thing, the peace deal, which the Bible talks about, using peace, prosperity with peace and all that. Okay, let's continue. After that, Khan was Trump's constant advisor on every significant aspect of his business and personal life. You don't learn that from the art of the deal. After the story about the housing discrimination settlement, Roy Khan appears only once in the rest of the book, getting a tax exemption for Trump Tower in 1981. One other Roy Khan story is missing from the art of the deal. His disbarment in 1986, the year before the book was published. The Bar Association charged Khan with fraud, deceit, and misrepresentation for lying on a bar application, for taking a client's money, for altering the will of an incapacitated man, as Politico explained. In the disbarment proceedings, Khan received testimonials from Barbara Walters. Wow. Geraldine Ferraro, Alan Dershowitz, and William Buckley, and also from Donald Trump, who, according to Alexander Cockburn in The Nation, testified that Khan was a fine fellow. It didn't work. The five-judge appellate panel, and isn't that something that his mentor was gay? Man, I'm in shock. I am in ultimate shock. Wow. And died of AIDS because of his lifestyle. The five-judge appellate panel said they found Khan's explanations incomprehensible and incredible, and his testimony misleading and untruthful. Trump didn't mention his testimony of Roy Khan's disbarment proceedings in The Art of the Deal. When researchers at the Smoking Gun website asked the courts for a copy of that testimony, they were told that all the records had been destroyed in a 2015 fire at a Brooklyn waterfront warehouse where the New York State court system stored its records. Right, yeah, right. Yeah, right. The name of the movie is The Devil's Advocate. Let's see. Wow. 5 weeks after his disbarment, Roy Khan died of AIDS. 15 months after that, Art of the Deal was published. You believe that? Khan is long gone, but his tactics have come to dominate our dark political landscape this season. It's all there in Donald Trump's huge, amazing, tremendous bestseller. Wow. This guy wrote an awesome article here. And this is called Los Angeles Review of Books. So this guy is reviewing President Trump's books. And he wrote this on October 20th of 2016, right before the election. Wow. Everybody knew that he was gay. Man, you can't make this stuff up. All right, Brad. Well, I got a lot of work to do, so I got to get off here. I just wanted to bring this to your attention today. I do have a lot of work to do, so I got to get off here. But I've enjoyed spending time with you today. I am going to consider doing away with the chats because to me, I see now why these ministers do that. They just shut down chats altogether because people get in there and they just won't even listen. They want to talk about their agendas. Use the platform, get your own platform, and speak about what you want on yours. You see what I mean? Because there's a reason that I'm spending my time trying to explain to you what I see and through my research. I do have moderators in here. I have 2 in here right now. Michelle, if that was the case, Michelle says, all chat people just talk to one another and help confirm what you're saying is all. No, I get it if you're talking about things that I'm talking about. But a lot of the time, it goes off into other stuff. And that's where, I don't know. To me, it's more important. I may just stop doing lives. I may just start uploading more, because the only reason, Brad, that I do the lives is for the interactions. You know, but it's more important to me to have people hear the message than it is, you know, this. Okay, Barb, I just added you as a moderator. Well, Barb said she just wants to cut them off. Well, you'll have to learn how to manage the people, because, in other words, if they're off topic, just tell them, just warn them one time. Just tell them, all you moderators out there, just warn them one time. Please listen to the conversation and keep the conversation focused on the topic at hand. Okay? And then if they don't listen, block them. Oh, I see. Okay, Michelle. All right, there you go. Well, we got to do something. I mean, if we're going to keep the chat going, we got to have order. You know, that's the thing. And as far as Michelle just wrote the comment, I've tried to email you and you won't get back with me. So she's coming in here trying to pour out all this information. But the problem is, you know, right now I don't have staff or anything. I've got a lot on my plate, a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to you know, get this office going so that I can be more efficient. I'm trying, Brad, because I've been praying for help, for people to come in and all this, but I'm not going to get into all this because this is a deal about the president. You need to understand, just pray for me, okay? All right, so I will talk to you later, Brad. God bless.